Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a second. Welcome back to another video. This is a Fantasy Premier League Game Week 9 team selection video. I feel like I haven't thought about my fantasy team in so long. I haven't thought about football really. I've just been straight chilling for 2 weeks. I haven't known what to do with myself, so I'm very excited that the football is back. So I'm going to take you through what happened in Game Week 8, like all of that time ago, what my plan is for Game Week 9, kind of my wish list / fear list of players that I'm missing out on, and then my captaincy option as well. So let's get right into it. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see my fantasy team and everything. So first off, just going to go through my game week 8. I had 54 points. I did take a -4 because I had so many players missing. I had rolled a free transfer, so I had 2 free transfers. I did a third, took the -4. I ended up on basically average points, so I wasn't so happy about this. The big transfer that I did make was I transferred out Mohamed Salah, I transferred out Trent Alexander-Arnold. I couldn't be asked to have them in my team anymore. I just felt like Salah was so expensive for the price point and the amount of goals that he had been scoring, which was not enough in my opinion. Liverpool, I just feel like have been struggling a bit, and after the 9-0 win against Bournemouth, I thought that they're going to be back, but I just feel like they've been conceding first a lot. They've been conceding goals, so that's why I took Trent out of my team. And again, with Salah, they just haven't been creating much. He hasn't been scoring the goals for them. So I wanted to spread the wealth elsewhere in my team. So those were like the 2 big decisions that I made. Brought in Harry Kane, brought in James Madison, and brought in Kufal in this match. So I'll go into James Madison a bit later. Kane ended up being a good shout. Haaland, I captained him. Could have maybe placed it on Kane or Cancelo, but in the end, this was my team. It was all right. Going into this week, my big transfer that I made was that I transferred out Grob and I transferred in Wilfried Zaha. Now, maybe some people are thinking, well, why would you transfer in Zaha? He's playing Chelsea. Well, couple of reasons. First off, let's just take a look at his stats a bit. 7.2, fairly priced. It's owned by a little over 16% of teams, so not a massive differential, but enough that hopefully if he returns, not many people are going to have him in his in their teams. And he has 4 goals in 6 games. He already played Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, 3 of the toughest teams. Got 2 versus Villa, 1 versus Brentford, and 1 versus Liverpool. And this Chelsea fixture, we realistically don't know how difficult it's going to be, because we don't know how Chelsea are going to play. They have 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses in the Premier League, 1 draw, 1 loss in the Champions League. They haven't been playing well. Even the wins, they have really gotten by with the wins. But we don't know what Graham Potter has been working on, how they're going to be playing, what formation they're going to play, how susceptible they might still be in the back. Edouard Mendy is still out. We don't know the defensive formation, if they've obviously had time during the international break, but a lot of players were on international duty during the international break. So I'm just a little bit wary of Chelsea assets right now. So I wasn't put off by that Chelsea fixture. Obviously, being a Chelsea fan, I hope he doesn't score. This is like the conundrum of fantasy. But I don't think it's like as terrible of a fixture as it might look in the beginning. And then if you look from game week 10 onwards, Crystal Palace have these amazing fixtures: Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Everton, Southampton, West Ham. West Ham right now, it's a great fixture, but they haven't been playing well either. So they have a really good run. So I feel like this is going to be a very good, hopefully long-term asset to have. Taking a look at my kind of wish list, fear list right now. First before that, James Madison. A lot of you might be thinking, why did you transfer him in? First, only 8.3% owned. Like, that's really good. And while Leicester have been losing by a lot, he's not in their defense, so I don't really mind. They've been scoring goals: 2 versus Spurs, 2 versus Brighton, nothing against United, 1 versus Chelsea. So James Madison has 3 goals, 1 assist. Okay, they're playing Forest, so I feel like that could be a favorable fixture. And then just going back to this as well, if we look at Leicester, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, 2 of the promoted teams in the next 2 weeks. Crystal Palace, Leeds, Wolves, then they play Man City and then Everton. So I feel like they have a very favorable run. They can hopefully get some wins up on the board, but they are scoring goals. So I wanted to get in on James Madison before it was too late. Kind of my fearless right now, and I'm going to go to transfers. So the first one is Mitrovic. Here, 6.9 forward. He has 6 goals already in 8 games. And Fulham have pretty favorable fixtures from like game week 11 onwards. Newcastle and West Ham, I think, are going to be more difficult. So that's why I'm okay with not having him in my team right now. And I also have Ivan Toney, who is kind of like a similar price point, a similar type striker in terms of like the goals that he's been getting so far. So he plays Bournemouth instead of Newcastle. So I feel like I might hold on to him, see how he does in these 2 games. And then if I'm not completely happy, because then he does play Brighton, Chelsea, then maybe I'll transfer in Mitrovic, who has a good run of games. So I'm kind of between on those 2. I'm just going to be transferring between the transfers and the fixtures tab. The other one that I'm kind of nervous about not owning is Saliba. Right now, I don't have an Arsenal defender in my team because Zinchenko is injured, so he's just on my bench. 2 goals, 1 assist, 44 points, massive 15-pointer. There was a run where Arsenal didn't keep so many clean sheets. They got one against Brentford. And the reason why I am not transferring him in just yet is because of Arsenal's upcoming fixtures. So they play Spurs this week, then they play Liverpool. I feel like they're going to concede in both of these matches. Then they play Leeds away, which Leeds away, they might concede as well. And Ellen Road is not an easy place to play. And then they blank in game week 12. And the team that also blanks in game week 12 is Man City. And I already have 2 Man City players in my team, Cancelo and Holland. So those are going to have to go on the bench, and I'm going to have to bring 2 players in. So I don't want to have a third player that is going to blank in that game week. So I think I'm probably going to look to bring him in around like the game week 13-ish spot. The other player that is kind of on my wish list a bit is actually Chelsea's own Raheem Sterling. So he's 10 million, so that price point is putting me off, owned by just under 10%. He has 3 goals and 1 assist. He starts basically every match, 3 goals, a goal every other game. Not a bad return at all. And Chelsea really struggled in these matches, but the thing that puts me off again is that Chelsea have historically struggled to score goals and create opportunities. The finishing hasn't been fantastic. Raheem Sterling's finishing is very, very good. But I just don't know how that's going to change with Graham Potter. I want to give it a couple of game weeks so that I can kind of see how he's going to do if Raheem Sterling still is the main one. And then the other thing is that if I bring him in, I would really want him for like these next 2 game weeks. Then Brentford, okay, could be possible. Man United, Brighton, Arsenal, like it gets a little bit difficult. In addition to all of the Champions League matches that Chelsea absolutely must win now because they're currently 4th in the group. So I don't think I'm going to bring Raheem Sterling in, but he does look like the one goal scorer, like the one player from Chelsea that looks likely to score basically every game. It's kind of something that I'm thinking about. So those are the players that are on my team that I'm thinking that I have, the ones that I'm hoping for. And then in terms of captaincy, like I just can't bring myself to take the captain armband off of Holland. It's I think everybody is going to basically be captaining Holland at this point. 81% ownership, which is just insane. But he already has 11 goals, and tomorrow's October 1st. Like, if he keeps at this rate, this guy's going to break the record for most Premier League goal scored in a season, like easily. I do get a bit nervous with Man City assets, especially when they have Champions League games. But I think City play Copenhagen, so I would feel like a Manchester derby against Manchester United probably would be. I don't want to say like a more important game, but maybe one where they need Holland more. Whereas I see them scoring a lot of goals, regardless if he's on the pitch versus Copenhagen. So I do think that Erling Haaland starts this match. I'll be shocked if he doesn't. And he just always looks capable of scoring goals. So I'm putting my armband on him. I thought about Harry Kane, but I don't know. I don't love like this Arsenal fixture. He's probably going to score anyways. And then I was thinking like maybe James Madison versus Nottingham Forest. Like that could just be like a rogue wild shout. Because I feel like he's going to score. But it's just too early in the season to be making rogue choices like that. So I decided against it. So right now, until I see differently, my armband's going on Erling Haaland, and that is the end of that. So that is my Premier League team, my fantasy team. That's kind of how I'm going about it. Hopefully we can start racking up some points because it's been a rough start to the season. And yeah, that's basically it. Let me know who's a must-own asset in your team, how you're feeling about the upcoming game week. And yeah, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, I'm out. Bye.